Hey guys, I'm Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 14 children. 12 of the children are still at home and we are going camping. So exciting. I'm trying to compile a list of stuff for you guys. Just what's in all these bins and all this type of stuff. It's a couple days before we're going to go camping and I thought I'd show you how I prepped. It's going to be a little rainy and we're going to be bringing 2 vehicles because we have 14 people that are going all together, but we also have tents and all that type of stuff. So we do actually have a 15-passenger van, or a van that holds 15 passengers that we made into a 15-passenger van, that if we're just going on a regular trip that we could do, but with all the tents and all the gear that you need for camping, it's really a lot better if we can bring 2 vehicles. So we have a minivan here and then we have the big 15-passenger. So my goal is to have all the stuff, most of the stuff in here that's kind of like extras, and all the setup stuff like the tents and the canopies and the chairs and all that type of stuff in the big van, and then to have all the other stuff in here. So let's see what we got going. What I wanted was a space that I could be able to get in and out really quick. So we have the hatch back here and we have the cooler here. It's a couple days before. I don't have this full right now, but this cooler will be full, probably to the brim, cramming shut the day that we go. But that means that we'll be able to get our lunch meat and all that type of stuff out for the first day or 2 easily like that. So then we have these 3 drawers. These will be all of our snacks in here. This bottom drawer here I left open. I'm gonna put some apples in there, and then come see what's in here. So we have the granola bars and we have the fig bars here. And then up top we have a bunch of different types of crackers. We have Slim Jims and we have some Laura bars. So we also have inside the van, I have the bins. So this bin is my kitchen tote. We're gonna have that in the video showing you what's in there. And then this would be my, I don't know, it's one of the 2. This is my food tote, which I don't know if I'll include in this video. It might be in the food. I think I'm going to do a separate video just on food. So that will be on there. And then down here I have my other type of stuff tote, which would have just other things that we might need at the campground. It also would have games for the kids, outside games like shoveling pails for the beach. That type of stuff is down here. So then I also have 3 cases. If you saw my grocery haul, you know that I got Cheez-Its and then 2 cases of chips. So I have those all up here. So when we're having a meal, we can just grab one of those. When we're having lunch on the run, we'll just grab one of those, open this up, make some sandwiches, and call it a day. So then let's go in the other door and see what's over here. I'm gonna have, this seat is not right. We still have to go to town again. We'll have the baby over here and then and then my 2-year-old here. And then right here, I have a case of water on top of one of these crates. These are my 3 crates from my camping foods video. And these are the 3 crates of canned foods to go with our meals. So I leave this space right here. There we go. This space in between here and here. And I am going to be putting diapers and wipes sneaked right back in there. Okay guys, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to try to collaborate this all together so it makes a lot of sense and you can see inside all these bins. So let's go see what's inside. Hey guys, so I just wanted to take a minute. I'm showing you the boxes that I have already packed. I wanted to let you know of a freebie. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below for a post to my blog, and it has 4 printable lists, all free for you guys to use, of what is in each of these boxes that I am about to show you. For camping, so I thought I'd take you through some things that I am going through. Right now, today, I am making a kitchen box, so I will be using a Rubbermaid tote and putting this stuff into the kitchen box, so I'll share that with you. So I like to have a container like this. So this will actually be like a dishwashing station, but I have a lid for it right now, and in here I have all the utensils that I need. I have a whisk, some longer tongs. These would be good on like a grill or a fire as well. This is a collapsible funnel. So this comes all the way up in case you need a funnel. And then I keep a measuring cup. I have various types of spoons. I love wooden spoons. They are my favorite. A potato masher, which could be used for potatoes. It could also be used for like egg salad or anything like that. A spatula like this. And then a spatula, like a regular turning spatula. I'll also bring like a grill spatula as well. And then I keep a couple large knives. I like using knives about this size. Those are my favorite. And a lighter. A peeler. Some measuring spoons. Just regular kitchen size spoons and forks. Sometimes just come in handy to have a harder one. And then a serrated knife. So I'll put all of these into this container right here. And then to this container, I will add, let me just grab these real quick. I had an extra fork over there. And I'm going to grab some other things. I'm going to take and put my cloths in here. So I pick the junkiest like cloths that I have and I throw them in there. I'll buy, usually what I'll do is I just rotate them through, so I'll bring the junky ones camping because they can get nasty sometimes and I'll end up just throwing them away. And then like my junky cloths, I usually put those in there and then I'll cover this over. And then what else I'm going to bring, I'll cover that over when I have two hands. Okay, so then I'm also going to bring one mixing bowl. I'm only bringing one because I will be making some potato and some pasta salad in other bowls with lids with us, so I'll have those as well. And then I have one big pot here. This will fit on my one burner, so if I want to do rice or pasta or anything, it can go in this big pot because it's skinny and tall. I always have a dish soap, and I keep these as well. And then here is my long spatula here. That's great for the grill. And then I'll have the two pots. This is like just a regular sauce pot. And then all my stuff is well loved. And then a little frying pan. Then we have a thing of aluminum foil. I usually don't cook with aluminum foil, but I do keep some for camping. And then a thing of saran wrap. I have a cutting board and a cookie sheet. A lot of times I'll use a cookie sheet and I can put like aluminum foil on top of here and then just put stuff on top of it as a serving tray rather than bringing like serving trays and platters and all that type of stuff. I have this percolator coffee pot, but we also will take this out and just heat water in there for like hot chocolate or whatever, just like a regular teapot. But if you're making coffee, if you haven't used one of these before, you put coffee in there, you cover the top like that, and then you put it in like that. Or sometimes, I am looking to see where it is. Sometimes we just pour over water, but that is how that works. Okay. So then I like these for just small little snacky things. They are hot dog holders, but we use paper products on camping trips. Especially we are tent camping. We are tent camping with 12 children and no running water or electricity at our site. So we are making it as easy as possible given those circumstances. Okay, so I have napkins, bowls, plates, a bag full of forks, a bag full of spoons. This is trash bags, and then I keep a newspaper in the side, so if I'm starting fire that I would have some newspaper. Oh, I didn't even say I had pot holders. Let me go back over here. And I also have my junky pot holders because a lot of times they end up getting like sooty and ashy. So my ones that are junky, obviously those are junky. This one actually, when I come back, I'll probably end up just throwing that in the trash. So all this is going to get packed into the tote over there and I'll be back. So here we are all packed up. So what I'll do, it's kind of empty. You can see like there's a bunch of space in there. And so when we come back, we'll actually have more stuff in there because we will be having the bowls and such. I also need to pack some cups and have not packed the cups yet. So today we're going to go over my first aid bin, and a lot of this stuff is not what you think I'm going to have in here. So some things I have that you may not have in your first aid bin. I started years ago, I had a disabled son, and so we started carrying some things in our first aid bin that maybe most people wouldn't, but I'm very glad that we have carried this out. So notice the kale. The kale is not part of my first aid bin. I was working on that after this. So I have a bin like this, and it has these closey things that go over it. Not sure the proper term for that. And I'm just going to tell you what I am going to be putting in here. So I am not going to be able to fit this in here, but I purchased a nebulizer off of eBay actually. And see, it's like the whole nebulizer kit has all this stuff in there. And we were kind of going back and forth, and it was kind of getting actually a little emotional for us to think about not bringing a nebulizer. But then I was thinking, you know, if one of my children, our children have used a nebulizer who were not my son. And we have been blessed by a nebulizer if somebody gets really sick. We have used, I'm not a medical doctor, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. I put smart silver inside of the nebulizer for certain things. So I have the nebulizer and smart silver. Let me see if you can see it. Zoom in on the smart silver. I don't know. I hope you guys can see that. Maybe that's better. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, so it's just purified silver. It helps your immune system. We have used this before if somebody had like bronchitis or pneumonia. We've actually used this inside the nebulizer, and it's worked great. But I'm not a medical doctor. I am just a mama doing her thing, and that is my thing. My jam is doing everything natural until I need a doctor. If I need a doctor, they went to school for those special things, but I always do my own little thing first. So we have the smart silver, which actually you can also take as an oral, and also for ears, like if you had a child with getting an ear infection, you can drop some of this in their ears as well. So this is really good to have on hand. So we're going to bring that. My grandmother is very allergic to bees. I have not been allergic to bees, but I do know that it runs in our family. So we do have 2 EpiPens that we carry just in case. And that also could bless somebody else if they were at the campground and somebody went into shock or something. We would have that on hand. So let's see. Let's talk about just basic like medical health care type thing first. So a stethoscope. Yes, I kind of know what I'm doing when I'm listening. I can tell, like, if somebody has pneumonia. With my son, who had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, I have a mosquito in the house. We did a lot of this, so I can hear any junk stuff going on in people's chests if necessary. I don't need to go to the doctor for that. I also have a blood pressure that goes on your wrist. Actually, all the people that I spoke to at the doctor's offices and stuff said that those ones over the counter that go on your wrist are actually more accurate than the ones that go on your arm that are the home kits. Not the ones that you get at the doctor's, but as far as buying something for the home, the wrist ones are more accurate. So have one of those. So let's see, we have the nebulizer, EpiPen, colloidal silver, stethoscope. This is a pulse ox. Probably saw one at the doctor's office before. Tells your oxygen levels. You bring that along. This is an osteoscope. Basically a little light bulb at the end of the thing that you can look up people's noses, in their ears, in their mouth, whatever you want to do. Yeah. and a thermometer. Those are all battery operated type things. Okay, so that's like the equipment that we have. Now I'm going to go over just some plain medications, and then at the end I'll tell you what I have for like boo-boos or anything that might go wrong type thing like that. Okay, so we have in the front are Dramamine for car sickness, and then the back is for anti-diarrhea. Then we have chewable Tylenol for the kids. I also have a liquid ibuprofen. Then I have ibuprofen and Tylenol for adults. I have a night, I should bring that closer, a night kids cough medicine. Then I have some allergy medicine here. So I have Benadryl for adults and for children in this bag, because you know, if this gets out, it is so sticky. So sticky. I know you mamas have probably like exploded allergy medicine or children's Tylenol before, and it's like a sticky mess all over the place. And again, we have everything in baggies. So this is Oragel. I did have some clove oil, but I only have a little bit left, and I wanted to leave that at the house because it's in a glass bottle. So I just brought the Oragel instead. We normally use clove oil first, and then hydrocortisone cream and anti-itch cream. Let's see, so those are the basic medications that I brought. So then I have some things. This is alum and cayenne, and it says on, I don't know if you can get that or not, it says on here no bleed. Both of these things stop heavy amounts of bleeding. So I have both of those in this bag. I have some of these instant compress things. You break them over and break them open and it becomes a cold compress. So I keep those. I keep some pads on hand. These do not necessarily have to be used for pads, but they can also be used for if you had cold water to hold that against something. Like you could take the pad and actually put it like in cold water and then like put it around something. You could use it to absorb something. So yeah, they're actually handy to have around. I have some heavy duty medical type tape. Hand warmers. I know that it is summertime now, but they really come in handy if you need them to, especially if somebody was like hypothermic. You could have these heated around you, and that also goes kind of with the emergency blanket. So when would you use this in the summertime? You know, you hate to think of like all the bad things that might happen, but say your kids were swimming and somebody was under the water for too long and they were like almost in a hypothermic state. You could get all their clothes off, and while you were starting a fire, you could be putting the hand warmers and an Okay, sorry about that. It said my card was full. I need to actually delete stuff off my card. You're coughing, I see. Okay, so emergency situation with that type of stuff. Great to have on hand are these emergency packets. If you're having a long hot day, somebody is like getting lightheaded or anything, grab one of these. We have a whistle. This is a little pack with small scissors. This is from Dollar Tree. Small scissors, tweezers, and nail clippers. So for boo-boos and that type of stuff, I have Q-tips and little pads. I do have a couple Band-Aids, but we really don't use Band-Aids too much. And then we have our sock tops. So if you haven't seen, I'll tell you how I actually don't use bandages. I'll have that together with this video probably. So those are the sock tops, and then we have the pads. You know what I'll do? I'll put it at the end of this video, how I don't use bandages. And these are the gauze pads. So gauze pads, sock tops, and I have my cream. So this is my cream that I make. It's Neosporin type cream. So I'll go over that as well at the end of this video. And then for really big boo-boos, so this is kind of funny. I have 14 children, and so in the beginning of my childhood type stuff, I've had really great doctors that have told me how to do different things, and I am so appreciative for those things, because then I don't have to bring my kids in for every single little thing. Actually, where we live, where we're so rural, a lot of the doctors don't want you bringing your child in for every little thing. So super glue. If your child has a gash, you can clean that gash out and then actually like super glue it shut and like squeeze it together, and it will actually heal like that. Like God designed us to be able to, our bodies to heal. That's basically what they do in the ERs now. They don't, most of the time, they don't sew or stitch or anything like that. So the doctor showed me how to do it the first time, and then I have done it a couple times since, not too often. Usually we're all set and I can just use some butterfly bandages and it will just pull it right in there together. But if you needed to and you in an emergency, I would just use some super glue. Okay, now I'm probably going to get a lot of like hate mail or whatever you might say from saying that I super glue my kids, but honestly, like the doctor showed me how to do whatever, and that's what he suggested that I do. He said directly, he said, go over to the Dollar Tree and get yourself some cheap little super glue tubes and keep them on hand. And then he also gave me some steri strips and said, you'll probably need these over the years. And thankfully I haven't needed them too much, and I'm very thankful for that. So all this stuff is going to be put back into that bin, and that's what we will take along for our first aid bin. And here you go. So I hope you all enjoyed and have a blessed day.
So this is our bathroom bin, and I'm just going to show you what we have inside. So we have 2 bottles of homemade bug spray. Then this is spray sunscreen that we had. 2 bottles of aloe. This one's blue, this one's green. Not sure if they make a difference or not, but it's aloe anyway. And then this is a toothbrush bin. There's a toothbrush for all the kids, and then kids toothpaste in here, and then what else? Toothpaste. So we have that bag, and then in this bag we have the hair supplies. So there is 2 hairbrushes and then a bunch of random hair ties of all different sizes in there to do the girls' hair. Then there's 2 bottles of deodorant. We have nail clippers down here, which are good for nails, but also if they get a splinter, then they will help with that too. Then we have, I'm pretty sure it's like 13 or 14 face cloths, one for everybody. And then last thing is we have our 4 bars of homemade goat's milk soap. And so that is everything that is in our bathroom bin.
Hi, I'm Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 14 children, and a long time ago I stopped using Band-Aids. What do I use instead of Band-Aids? Band-Aids are really expensive, and I don't want to spend that much money for the kids having to just put a little Band-Aid on a scrape that doesn't even need a Band-Aid. We put a little cream on there, but they'll just wear Band-Aids like they're some fashion product. So we don't use Band-Aids anymore, but what we do use is so cheap and so easy, and it stays on 10 times better that you'll never turn back. Okay, so for small boo-boos, we would just take, these are like makeup pads, so you can either use makeup pads or like 2x2 gauze. For bigger things, we would use a 4x4 gauze. These you can use a bunch of these. You can buy these on Amazon for so cheap. You can get them at your local, like Walgreens, CVS, whatever. These are 4x4s, and then there's also 2x2s, or you can just buy 4x4s, cut them in half, and then cut them in half again, and you have a little 2x2. Okay, so you can always just cut this down to size, or I actually got these makeup pads. They were actually expired and somebody gave them to us. So we have these little makeup pads. So what we would do is we would take our homemade cream, which is homemade Neosporin cream. And so we We make this every year. I'm going to be making some. I have some oils and stuff soaking now, so we will have an upcoming video on how we make this. We call it boo-boo cream, so bring your boo-boo cream over. So we have this boo-boo cream, and we would apply, it's been used. We would apply this to the wound itself, and then we just glob it right on there. And then we would use one of these gauze things, place it over the wound, over the globbiness. And then we do one of two things. A lot of times we'll just use, especially for younger kids, an old top to a sock. So this was like the sock with like the foot part would come off here, and we just cut this part. See how it's like ribbed? See that there? Okay, so these stretch out really good. Now, say we have a hand wound for a child. We would actually, I'm pulling this over, take the wound, like we would take the thing like this, and I would just cut out a thumb hole right there, and then it would fit right over their hand like this, and it would stay super tight against it. So all I would do is just cut just a tiny hole, and then they could wear this. You might have seen like in videos my kids wearing it, but if you have another spot, say like just the hand up here and it's not around this bottom section here, then you can just have it there. So, or it could be like on the arm or anything like that. So basically what you would do is you would put your little thing on, then you'd, oops, really good, huh? Okay, so this would be under here, cream, gauze, and then that on, and then you have a bandage just like that. And they stay on really, really well, and you're using something that is totally cheap, free. Most of the time the kids blow out the toes in their socks first, so you're not even having to buy anything. You're just taking what you're not going to use. So I keep a bag of just tops of socks in all different sizes. Bigger socks could be used like all around your knee. Works really great if they like skin their knees or something like that. I find the 4x4 gauze is like our favorite to keep. Once I open it up, I put it in a little Ziploc bag. So that is what we do. If we had something that was a little bit more extreme or is on a smaller part of the body, I have this. You can buy it at like Tractor Supply, or you can buy it on Amazon, and it's less than $1 a roll if you buy on Amazon. So I end up just buying, you can get it in 2-inch or 4-inch. This is 4-inch. It's almost like an ace bandage, yet it's it's sticky on one side, so it will stick to itself. So you could just wrap this around a wound. I tend not to do this except if we were going to do, say, a finger or an odd spot. So for a finger, I would take scissors and I would cut this in half, and then I would just put the gauze on, say like that, and then we would wrap that around, and we would have a bandage for a finger. And it stays on a lot better, because once you put a Band-Aid on, then it doesn't have the other side, so it's not completely going around it. So what happens is if you put any cream on it, it just ends up sliding off, and you're putting like 5 or 6 bandages on per day, especially when you have young ones. So this is what I have done for years, and I have never had any problems, never had any complaints, and it's super cheap, guys, super cheap. So I hope this tip helps you. So camping and packing and all that type of stuff with a large family can be kind of challenging, but once you get there, it's just like so worth the effort. So I encourage you to get your kids out, get them out in the wild, get them out in the woods, get them out by the ocean, and just enjoy living life together. So I hope you have a blessed day.